knock. Hi, Mrs. Smith. How you doing this morning?
I'm fine.
Good. Well, my name is Nikki. I'm your student nurse aide today, and I'm here to change your linens. Is it a good time?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so we always want to ask the patient if it's a good time. You might need to come back. All right, so before I get started, I'm going to wash my hands. Remember, for Prometric, if you've already washed your hands in the sink, then all you have to do is motion that you wash your hands thereafter. All right, so first I'm going to lock my wheels, and I'm going to pull my curtain. Looks like you have a phone call. You wanted me to get that? Or you want to wait?
I'll wait.
Okay. All right. We'll just let that ring then. Okay. All right. So usually I can get this to proper working height, but since this is a state exam and we don't have a lot of time to move the bed up and down, I'm just going to use good body mechanics and bend my knees. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is, okay, so you already have a bath blanket here. I'll change that later. I am going to pull this off, your bottom sheet off, and I'm just going to pull it all the way down and make sure that it's off before I turn you, okay? That way you don't have to be on your side too long, okay? All right, so I want you to just, you can bring this hand up one, and then I'll hold this and put it underneath your pillow for you, and I just need you to move to that side towards the wall on 3. 1, 2, 3. And you guys, if the side rails were there, you would definitely want them to pull up on their side rails, but since this is the state exam, now remember it said do not put anybody on just a regular bed. That's cold. And so now if you had crumbs or something, I'd get a trash can, get this, or wipe it down with an antibacterial wipe or whatever the facility policy is. Next, this is for state exam. So normally we would change gloves and clean our hands, but we are just trying to get this on and show them the steps that we know how to do. So now I'm going to put this on the bottom. Well, that took off, didn't it? And top and bottom, make sure that you have them not inside out. And if the linens are soiled, you really don't want them to touch. But since this is a demonstration, what we're going to do is get this all the way up under the pillow and as smooth as we can up under the patient, and pushing down into the bed. Make sure there are no wrinkles. And because one thing you don't want to do is have to pull it once you get them on the other side. Okay, I'm going to bring you down. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead and move downwards. Now I'm going to move you, I'm going to go to the other side, or actually, let's just go ahead and bring you my way. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's see what we got down here. Okay, great. How are you holding up on this side? You okay?
Okay, thank
and you're not too close to the edge? I'm coming right around. And what I'm going to do is take this side off and roll it away from me. Roll, roll, roll away from me, and take it totally off the bed. Now you can't leave this anywhere. You got to put this in your dirty clothes, which I have left over here. Okay. And now, without further ado, we are going to pull this nice and tight. Now make sure that you don't shear any skin underneath the patient. So we just want to get the wrinkles out, because a wrinkle can cause wrinkles in the skin. Once you have a wrinkle in the skin and you're down for about 2 hours, it can cause tissue death. All right, so I like to bring her gown out like this, okay, and bring her back so there's no wrinkles in her gown. Thank you so much. Let's just get that gown out from under you. And what I kind of like to do is fan a gown like this, so those wrinkles will not be there. Okay, so we've got a couple more sheets to deal with here. The next one is going to be your top sheet. Now remember, this is not a sterile procedure, it's just clean. We're trying to get the clean sheets off or dirty sheets off and clean sheets on. If this top sheet was soiled with BM or urine, I definitely would not put the clean sheet on top. I would change that out. So you want to make sure that the top is at the top. And actually, this one would be upside down. And so the grooves will not touch the skin. Okay, so I'm going to leave this over the top there. And I'm going to ask you, Mrs. Smith, if you can just hold on to this sheet for me. Because what I'm going to do, and I'll show you guys what I'm kind of doing, is I'm rolling this down without exposing her breast or her private parts, or also making sure she stays warm. So once I get it down by the legs, then you can pretty much say it's safe to roll this away from me. Another thing, do not put linens on your clothes. You are cross-contaminating. First of all, you've been in one patient's room, now you're in another patient's room, and you have microbes on your person. So we're going to take that down. Now, last thing is to make sure that she's nice and covered, but we also want to tuck in the top sheet. I put it over the side, I look on one side, I look on the other side to make sure that it's even. And then what I'll do is I'll pick this up here, tuck it. Sometimes I'll even pick up the bottom of the bed and bring this over. I'll bring this over too. But if you remember on the instructions, it says leave some room for the feet. So we're going to do what's called a toe pleat. A toe pleat is very simple. You just take the remaining that you have on the bottom and make a pleat out of it. So you know that they can wiggle. Go ahead and wiggle your feet. Do you feel comfortable? Okay, great. All right. Now we'll cover it. Now this test doesn't require a miter, but let me show you how that's made. On this side, we have to make sure that, as you can see, the sheet is tucked underneath the foot of the bed. And then we're going to go about a foot across and grab this area, bring it up like a triangle, make it nice and neat, pull in and let it drop. As you can see, it has a nice feathered miter, and this just if the facility requires that, it just makes the bed look aesthetic. Next, and not to least, I'm going to bring your pillow up, okay? Are you okay without your pillow? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. Remember, the outside of the pillow is, sorry, that's going in dirty. Anything that drops on the floor, you guys, is no longer clean. Any linen that you bring in is also no longer clean, even if you did not use it. Whatever linen you bring in or whatever you drop on the floor is dirty. All right, considered dirty. I'm going to put this in. Make sure this looks nice. Now, as far as aesthetics with the pillow, some people may choose to cuff this in and fold it over, or you can simply just make sure the tag is inside, and then the roundest part or the non-open part stays away from the door. I'm going to lift your head here, and I'm going to put this under your neck and your shoulders a little bit. That's a proper way to place a pillow. All right, well, let's see where your call light is. And remember, when you're doing these skills and you have a involved arm, meaning that it is weak, you need to put it on the strong side. This skill doesn't have that particular requirement. So, Mrs. Smith, is there anything else you need? Okay, so I'm going to bring your bedside table close to you. Would you like your curtain open or closed? Okay, well, here is your phone and your remote. I'm going to wash my hands, make sure I'm done with my checklist. Your bed is still locked and low. Thank you very much. I am done with my skill.